Hallo, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khushamdeed, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen.
Bakhair agale, ni hao, chune shumme, washwale, ohio, guzaimis, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, hale shuma chutore, ahlan wasalan marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabia, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning, alongside the very fantastic, the very superb, the very scintillating Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely great, thank you for asking. What about you? And how are you liking the weather though? It's very different
Well,
today.
I think that the weather today over here in Islamabad, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely romantic.
It's
All you,
on point
yeah,
for
it's on point. So
everything.
it's not very cold,
Yeah.
and so once you're going to actually step outside your house, you will feel it. What I'm trying to convey over here that
Yeah.
it's not too cold, it's not too hot, and then it's cloudy. So you really
It's
can
really
spend
pretty.
time with somebody special if you have someone special in your life. May it be your
Absolutely.
mother, your father, or your loved one, or probably if you are in a relationship, that can be too. Because we're going out in 46 different countries.
Of
People have
course.
very different kind of relationships these days. So okay, wherever you may probably be, ladies and gentlemen, we make sure that you're going to have a good day. But other than that, Shiza, what about you? How do you feel today?
Well, the weather, in terms of the weather, of course, it's absolutely stunning. The Margala Hills and everything, just so beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
But Shazad, I'm actually going to, borrow your words again, where you said it's today is the right time to spend, with your loved ones.
Yeah.
I actually want to further this notion and say that when you're talking about loved ones, of course, that starts with your family, with your immediate family, because they are the first people you are exposed to and loved by, and you love them in everything. So more usual than often, unfortunately, even in societies like Pakistan, in cultures like Pakistan, it happens that parents, when they're at an older age and they have special needs that of course people at that age do, they are left at old age homes, and the sons or even daughters, sometimes they're supposed to take care of them, they just disown them for the mere fact that of course they're now busy in their lives, forgetting the fact that they are the ones who brought them up, right? I mean, if the parents were not there in the first place, the kids wouldn't be there, of course. I don't know if I'm making a sense over here, but lately
Yeah,
I
you
actually
just
came
did, man.
across, yeah, thank you
If
so
the
much. But
parents are not going to be there, the kids
yeah,
won't be.
you know what I mean, right?
Absolutely on point.
So I came across this video, and it was really heartbreaking for me to watch Azad and everyone else on social media as well, where this person of an old age is actually really crying and complaining about the facilities he has there and the fact that he misses his family. Shazad, it's literally not about having all the things to lead a good life as well. It's companionship. Towards the end of your life, especially, you need good people around you who you
Exactly.
love, right?
Exactly. But Shiza, I think I'm going to add over here. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody talks about karma, but I think that for all of those parents who at some point of time in their life left their parents all by themselves, I
Yeah.
think their kids tend to do it more. And it's not backed by research, but I think that I've actually seen my parents, looking after my grandparents, and it gives me this urge of looking after my parents as well. And when you think about all the benefits which Allah will give you, just because of the fact that you were looking after your parents, so that Allah is razi with you, I think that that's a greater cause as well. But for
Absolutely.
all of those people who didn't do great with their parents, your kids won't be doing anything good to you too as well.
Yeah, you have to set
So
an example, man.
everything's going to come back. So for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that if it is in your capacity to look after your elderly parents, and the amount of dua and prayers you're going to get will definitely make you successful over here and
Absolutely.
hereafter as well. But other than that, you very correctly said that, in relationships, people do miss other people.
Yeah.
Just now, I was watching this very viral clip on social media where, a journalist asked Keanu Reeves a question that what will happen when you will die? And
Yeah.
the answer was absolutely on point. Keanu Reeves actually said that people who love me will miss me. And I think that's the point. And ladies and gentlemen,
Of
today is
course.
such a day where we actually miss two of our most prominent
Legendary
personalities,
people.
one from the industry, the drama industry, and other from the human rights activist industry as well, or the lawyer fraternity.
Yeah, yeah.
But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think if I go back in time 6 years ago, I happened to work with this amazing gentleman, Mr. Kazi Wajid. It's his death anniversary today. A brilliant actor, and he was a father figure too, as well, to be honest. And we kind of used to talk about property issues, and he would call me from Karachi to Islamabad that I had a plot, and things like that. So we would, and the most funny bit which I could remember was the Kazi Wajid Sahab, because he was at a very elderly age when I was working with him. We used to forget his lines quite a lot. So before the director even said action, it was a cut, because he was like, "Oh, yaar, meri line batana." but it was
That's
superb
cute.
working with him, and I think that he taught me quite a lot of lessons while I was. This project was Shabi Arzu Ka Alam. It was done by Wajahat Rauf Saab as well. I mean, Wajahat Saab, if you're out there, thank you very much for giving me that project. Mohib Mirza was there, Armina was there, so it was fun. But other than
Nice.
that, the most fun bit was me working with Qazi Wajid Saab, and I think that I'm going to cherish this because I grew up watching him. And while I was right in front of him and acting in front of him, it was a dream come true. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you remember Qazi Wajid Saab in your prayers today.
Along with Asma Jahangir, of course,
Yes.
Shazad, you very rightly mentioned how she was a very legendary, human rights activist. And till date, for everyone who does know her, and for people who even know her from, how she was famous, right? The type of work that she did. I think that she actually led her life by an example.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are actually following her footstep now as well.
Exactly. And talking about the footsteps, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people might not know this, but whenever she was out there protesting, she was actually threatened to be killed or
Oh, of
murdered.
course, so many
and
times.
she spoke about it very openly as well, and
Yeah.
right in front of those people who actually tried to perpetrate as well. But then at the same time, I think that she set that track where everybody needs to tread on for all of those women within Pakistan thinking about women empowerment or doing something of their own. I think we
She was
really
also-
need to learn a few lessons from Asma Jahangir's life.
Absolutely, most absolutely. But other than that, Shazad, of course, I love reminiscing about our legendary actors and, everyone who has actually made a name for themselves and brought name to Pakistan as well.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, today on our show, we will be discussing about an organization which is actually doing a lot for Pakistan, and especially not the mainstream parts of Pakistan. I'll try to explain it. Well, when we're talking about Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Jammu and Kashmir, whenever we've been there, Shazad, I don't know if you've been to the north. Oh, you did go fishing,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So we do have a major, major issue over there with signals and everything
Yeah.
going off. Even whatever network you use, that does not work there. So
Yeah.
one might think if you're going to such an amazing, beautiful place that belongs to Pakistan, a living paradise,
Yeah.
you really want to be connected to the world as well, right? In terms of and then you also think that if these networks are not going to work there, something must. I
Yeah.
mean, the state must take responsibility of providing the largest telecommunication network over there.
I just thought of we went to Kailash for a documentary making as well,
Okay.
with PTV, and while we were there, so we were there for almost 5 days. No signals at all, so there was only a PTCL line, and it was very frustrating because these days, ladies and gentlemen, people like us, especially who are on television, they would want to upload their pictures. Hey, this is where we're visiting, and it's
trend.
so cool and it's so superb. Because we're showing different parts of Pakistan, particularly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So we really need a few service providers over there. But there's this organization who've been working tirelessly since 1974 or beyond that as well. And I think that they've done a wonderful job. And not just that, they're venturing into corporate social responsibility. They're looking after other people. They're making sure that the area is well looked after. They're making sure that there's more tourism. And now my producer is like,
Yeah, he's like,
"Bas,
stop
we
it,
have guests
guys."
over here in the studios as well." So yeah. So
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, that was a brief intro. For the rest of the intro, I think, Shiza, you really need to tell them what are we talking
I
about.
just feel like we're going to ask our guest about it. This is,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, this happens to be SCO, Special Communication Organization, the largest telecommunication network in Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Jammu and Kashmir.
Yeah.
And we'll ask them if they're extending it to the mainstream Pakistan as well. So without further ado, we have some brand ambassadors here as
Yeah.
well. The marketing team too. So let's just introduce them.
Yeah, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce this gentleman, I think that he's one of those people whom a lot of people look forward to because of the fact that the kind of work he's given or the kind of screen appearances he's given have been, a few of them has been very controversial, a few of them have been very loved by as well. Even the controversial ones have been loved by people a lot as well.
course.
Recently, I read an article and it said that there are 3 people who are actually all over the screen over here in Pakistan. And he's one of those gentlemen as well. He's none other than Mr. Usman Mukhtar. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you?
How are you guys doing, man? How do you guys have so much energy in the morning?
It's
We're
our
trying,
job.
we're
We get
trying,
paid.
man. We're trying because we're not actors. We're TV anchors,
Yeah.
so we probably have
yeah.
to cope up with that too. But thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful
Thank
to
you,
have
thank you for having me.
And alongside Mr. Usman, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually been joined by first female pilot from Azad Jammu and Kashmir, who happens to be the brand ambassador for SEO. She's none other than Miss Mariam Mujtaba. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
So how do you guys communicate? Alpha, come in, Bravo, let's go. Something
Yes,
like
that is our aviation language, so that's how
Okay.
we.
Yeah, so we would definitely try to learn the aviation language in the later half, but right now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll focus on how SEO intends to market themselves in the rest of the region too as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the Director of Marketing SEO, she's none other than Miss Sarosh Hina. Hello, assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
Absolutely perfect. Well, it never came back with the same energy, but it's particularly all right. I think it's my job.
But I feel like that's okay as well because
Yep.
we are now morning people. We didn't used to be, but now we're used to it. So, I mean, get
Even
them
though our
some
faces
slack.
do not look like that because the flu's just taken over my body these days, but it's perfectly all right.
Yeah, all right. So, Ma'am Hina, I do want to come to you about SEO and its detailing, but before that, Usman, let's start with you. Everyone knows your work, everyone knows you're an actor, mashallah, doing great, amazing, growing every day. But how did you become a part of SEO?
I was actually approached by
Yeah.
Ms. Sarosh
Yeah.
to be part of SEO.
Mm.
I particularly didn't know much about SEO.
All right.
I remember going to Kashmir on vacation with my family, and over there I was told that my normal SIM wouldn't work.
Right.
So I was like, that's strange. And they said that there's another SIM that works, but we went there for a couple of days, so we didn't think.
Of buying a
You
new
know,
one. All right.
So then, 7 years later, I get in touch with Ma'am Sarosh, and she tells me that she's representing SEO, and SEO is looking for brand ambassadors. And when I heard about the work they're doing, I actually went to visit an exhibition, a photography exhibition, and when I went there and I saw the kind of work those kids did and the kind of platform SEO gave to those kids, it was my mind was blown because some of the pictures that were taken that were being exhibited in at PNCA
Yeah.
were taken from their phones, and they were
Right.
so good that you couldn't tell the difference between it being a
From a
professional.
DSLR,
Yeah.
or, yeah.
Wow.
So I
amazing.
was, and you know, it's so surprising that we never think of, the fact that there are kids who are immensely talented that are from Gilgit-Baltistan or Kashmir. You know, we never think of that. We only think, Kashmir is a very beautiful place, or, Gilgit-Baltistan are great tourist spots. But we don't humanize it enough.
yeah.
You know, we don't see, there are people, there's talent over there. So SEO, what SEO is doing is SEO is bringing a platform to them, amongst other things. They bring a platform to these kids who don't have a voice, who don't have a platform, who don't know where to go. You know, so that it's amazing how, and I'm honestly, amongst other things, like the way they're working towards planting trees, and that's very important nowadays
Absolutely,
with all the climate crisis that we're going through.
Yep.
And cleanliness drives that I mean I recently saw, actually before I actually joined SEO, I saw a video and pictures of Atabad Lake,
Oh,
and the amount of pollution and the amount of litter there was over there, and it really breaks your heart because you keep talking about how beautiful your country is, and there are parts where you have everything, you have mountains, you have, but then you don't take care of them.
Yeah.
And it's I went to boarding school when I was really young, and I've spent 5 years in Murray,
Oh.
Ghoda Gully, and
Yeah.
it used to be such a beautiful place
Yeah.
in the 90s, early
Yeah.
90s.
Absolutely.
And now when I go, it literally breaks my heart to see how we've just polluted the entire place, you know. So I mean, I really, really appreciate what SEO is doing.
Right, and I think, Usman, it's great that the work that you're doing now as an ambassador, you actually resonate with that as well.
Yeah.
Because that matters, right? It should be true what you're doing. And this actually reminds me where you say that we pollute everything. You know how everyone captions their pictures saying mountains are calling, and then there was a picture with a lot of litter in it guys, saying mountains are calling, come back and clean, which is absolutely true, right? You would book the most luxurious hotels over there and do everything and anything on your list, have the most fun, and then come back, leaving your, plastics and everything over there. I mean,
No,
just
this is something that I tell everybody.
Yeah.
I'm very specific about this, and I request everybody. I said, listen, it took you 5 minutes to go to the shop, buy a packet of chips and a bottle of your carbonated drink. It took you around 10 minutes to finish it. It'll take you a minute to go back and throw it in the trash can.
Exactly.
less than a minute, man.
Yeah, and thank you very much for saying
made
that.
a
So,
point,
ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, I think that's a public service message once again as well on behalf of SEO. Usman Mukhtar, straight from the horse's mouth as well. But other than that, I think that this pretty lady over here actually deserves a big round of applause because she's the first female pilot
Yes.
from
Thank you.
Zat
Thank
Jammu
you
and
very
Kashmir, and she happens to be the brand ambassador for SEO as well. Let's ask how she resonates with the values SEO holds. So let's continue with you, Ms. Mariam.
Yes. I, being a female pilot and from Azad Jammu and Kashmir, I was using SEO services, and I never thought that I'll become the SEO brand ambassador.
Yeah.
But the time I joined SEO, I came across a lot of different campaigns, and SEO was working for, like, the cleanliness campaigns and for the betterment of students especially. It was working a lot for the youngsters, for the youth.
Right.
So it's amazing. It's such an amazing experience whenever I go to my people, I talk to them, and they tell me about
I mean,
that.
we are your people as well, you know.
I mean,
We are your great people to fly with. Yeah.
Of course, great people to fly with.
Yeah.
Yes.
So well, that's great. But let me move on to Mr. Roche over here. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I think that the director of marketing is the person who's actually going to answer all our questions.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, ma'am, the question I have in my mind is that do you think that SEO is actually planning to expand into other regions within Pakistan? That you're actually investing on brand ambassadors, making sure that you fulfill your corporate social responsibility. I mean, what's the point? Because you have this entire organization has been limited within the one area,
Right.
geographical location, and now all of a sudden we see, hey, SEO is there, SEO is there, SEO is there. So what is SEO planning to do in the rest of Pakistan other than Azad Jammu and Kashmir? Are you guys expanding?
Not as yet.
Okay.
All right. So putting me on the spot and asking, right in the morning.
Maybe you can save it by saying a maybe.
I would never.
I mean, you have to
I
ask
have to be
whenever
very
you get
politically
time. That's
correct for
Yeah.
this. At the moment, everybody is interested in coming in our regions.
Yeah.
So why not to tell them what exactly is the right way of communicating?
Yep.
So that's the reason that we are coming on the mainland, coming to the Pakistan and talking about what SEO is.
Yeah.
We've been there for last 4 decades, but the interest has recently developed about tourism coming to our region. And so once something new comes, a new region starts, and new communication starts. So we need to, the responsibility comes to SEO, basically ESCOM, to actually inform them. So if you're coming all the way to the mountains, you need to keep it clean.
Absolutely.
The communication needs to go in a flow and all that. So we thought it's a good time to actually come out in the media and talk about it. So if you're coming to our region, we are the best people to communicate for.
Yeah.
And you have to be responsible as we are.
I
Well,
like
that's great.
that.
Thank
I
you
like
very much
that.
for saying that. We'll definitely build up on that. But I'm very sorry that I'm going to take you back in time as well. When I was visiting the northern areas, I was in Azad Jammu and Kashmir. Just like we have conventional telecommunication service providers over here in Islamabad, for example, let's say, or Lahore or Karachi or any other city, that's not how it is in the north. And for us, it was so hard to find that where are we actually going to find an ESCOM same that we actually didn't bother to do it after 2 days because we were not able to find a single person who could actually refer that, okay, that's the place where you can
Right.
actually get a SIM from. So how does it work? I mean, I think that's more important for people to know where to get the SIM from. How do you operate that system? How does it work?
Okay, we have about 40 plus calls,
Franchise?
service centers,
Okay, service center.
franchisees, and a lot of retailers who are selling out our different products and services. So if you are in AJK and GB, so SEO or ESCOM in particularly, because our GSM service, so we have evolved in the last 4 decades.
Yeah.
So we started with landline, we started giving out wireless services, and then GSM in 2017. So the retailers and the franchisees are above 3,000.
Oh, wow.
And you can easily find SEO if you ask for it. And in fact, you would actually get attribution to all what sort of services do we actually provide.
All right.
So we have 72 plus service centers, about 40 plus retailers, and 4,000 plus franchisees and retailers sitting there.
Wow.
So
And without
in-
any marketing.
Yeah, what
Because
sort of
like,
marketing do
because,
you
we're
actually
so
want to
used
push
to
forward for?
Of seeing all of these billboards everywhere, all of
Right.
our colleague actors working in those commercials and everything. So that's how marketing works for us. But what kind of marketing is SEO picking up on because of the fact that it wasn't visible anywhere while I was traveling?
All right, that's
When
the
was
magic.
that?
So
think it was
the
just like
services
7
are
months
there,
ago
but
or
not
8
the
months ago.
advertising. So
Yeah.
we are not polluting our region with advertisements and stuff. So In that case, we are not polluting in that angle.
That was
So
the
we are
safest
in
answer
a-
I've
No, but
ever
that's
had.
amazing. The
So
thought
it's a
is great.
subtle way of giving you the services and the products that is required in that particular region. It's purely the word of mouth that actually has given us an option of working there. We're a government department at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Right.
So there's always a limitation of how one actually sells itself.
Yeah.
We cannot oversell ourselves because we are there to give services. And we were made to serve those underserved and underdeserved people
Right,
who are
absolutely.
sitting in the mountains, valleys that we have never been actually been to. Shamshal, one of our brand ambassadors who couldn't actually make it to the program today, is Samina Beg, one of the
Yeah, she's been on the show twice already.
mountaineers. Her area is Shamshal, which
Okay.
is on the way to Khunjrab,
Yeah.
and it's all surrounded by the mountains. And now we are the only one who are providing services in that particular valley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a dry port in Gilgit-Baltistan. Nobody goes there because the hard terrain and the areas that we are. So SEO needs to be there, and they've been there to provide them all sort of communication.
Yeah.
It's not just the GSM, because you see GSM advertisements are all
Right.
around. You have never actually seen a landline. Yeah, PTCL to an
It
extent.
used to be, like in the
yeah,
olden
yeah,
times,
like
maybe.
in old ages. 1901 mein.
Okay,
So,
thank
but
you very
it's
much for saying that. But
Yeah, but-
okay, let's be fair then. You know, because over here, you know, the arena is bigger and it's larger, and there are other competitors as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, for somebody to be the director marketing of the only company which exists in that region, I don't think that, you know, there's a lot of marketing budget which needs to be put in, because that's the only service which is available.
Right. There's
That-
no com-
that
But
was the
why
myth
do you
that
think
we've
that the
actually
why do
kind
you
of
think that the
evoked.
doors of competition are closed in that geographical area particularly? Why do you think any other service provider cannot come in and start doing whatever you're doing?
Interestingly, all of the service providers are there.
Okay. Where
So
are
they didn't advertise either, did you?
Okay.
Did they? So it's purely the region, not us. They are there. Telenor is very much in AJK. It's one of the top competitors. Sorry if I'm naming it out.
Oh, it's perfectly all right.
But the thing is, Telenor, Jazz, Ufone, and all of the telcos are there.
Okay.
And that's the best part is because if it's a healthy competition, you actually grow.
Absolutely.
And the services and the service design basically flourishes, it evolves. And this is the reason that if SEO hasn't been seen in these past few years, is the reason that we were evolving, but the competition didn't actually push us forward to market ourselves to
Brilliant.
that extent. Now it is. Now the competition is hard.
Thank you
Okay,
very much
that's
for saying
amazing.
that. And obviously, Shiza has got one more question. but
Not
I'm very
one,
sorry,
I'm-
Shiza, I'm going to move to Usman over here
Okay,
now.
okay, do it.
So now, Usman, you know, you work in an industry which is full of glamour, glitz, and whatnot. You might probably be one of the highest paid actors by far, alhamdulillah. Whatever it may probably be. But you know, as an actor, when we think about our own career, we would want to be associated with those brands, you know, which are up there in
Yeah.
the sky. So
No, a
when
commercial thought,
yeah.
maybe.
So when Miss Saroj gave you this thought that okay, you know, we're looking for a brand ambassador, was it difficult for you to pick up on SEO, or was it just that simple when you got to know about their corporate social responsibility?
No, I mean, so I don't know, man. I work in a very different way. I think like, and I'm a big comic book fan, and I'm a big superhero fan, and there's a Spider-Man saying, with great power comes great responsibility, and I feel like, you know, a lot of people are out there who are working with these big brands, and you know, God bless them. I feel like you need to, if you've been given a voice, you need to use your voice to kind of, you know, make a difference. And
Yeah.
I feel I resonated with what SEO was doing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I really believed in what they were doing. And you know, that's one of the reasons why I came on board with SEO.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. And now, Mariam, I actually, you know, want to take you back to when these exhibitions were going on, photography and then paintings,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So you belonging to that area especially, now this question is for you because you can sort of, you know, tell me where that's coming from. So the students who were participating or whatever talent that was participating, I was in conversation with them. And what meant to them was that now because they have all these, you know, actually they have the facilities to post their things online or, you know, to actually apply for competitions. Only this thing actually mattered to them so much. It was so heartwarming to see because this
that's
was the
very
first time a
true.
lot of them were actually submitting their work, being appreciated as well. What does this mean?
I felt so nice and so honored, and I'm so thankful to SAO that they were bringing out the best in those students who were never asked about their talents.
Absolutely. And they're so talented.
Yes, the first prize holder, he was from Azad Kashmir.
Okay.
And first he was very like, he was so shy and underconfident, and but I felt so nice that yes, he came up with the first prize, and the paintings he made, he was
Just
given a
stunning.
chance to show his work, not just in Kashmir, all around Pakistan.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the good thing about that, Shahzad, is it's not just the people belonging to special communication organization who do
Yeah.
sort of, appreciate the work of the youngsters as well. Everyone needs appreciation. The other day I was realizing, even a waiter that we take so casually, he's doing his work, right? This
Yeah.
is
That's
his
true.
office hours. He does need
Yes.
appreciation.
But there's
and
one-
especially appreciating them in front of the president of Pakistan or the prime
Correct.
minister of Pakistan, and then being
Mrs.
awarded that.
Samina Alvi, she was there.
Yes, I was
Then
there as
President of Pakistan, President of Pakistan was there, and it was such a big honor
Absolutely.
and to be a part of such a big organization. And
But there's this one simple thing which I wanted to ask, and ladies and gentlemen, it's a very different feeling. So we obviously have to go for a short break.
Yeah.
But before going towards the break, I'm going to leave you guys with the thought as well, and I'm going to let you know the question beforehand so that you can do justice with that too as well. So whenever I've been to Azad Jammu and Kashmir,
Okay.
and every local I'm going to meet over there, the first question they ask you is, "Aap Pakistan se aaye?" Are you from Pakistan? Why do they ask us this question? This is something which was very disturbing for me there. But we're going for a short break. Don't go anywhere. When you guys come back, we're actually going to ask Mariam, why do you guys tend to think as if we are from somewhere outside their place of living? Let's do that. Good morning.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to World This Morning, ladies and gentlemen, with the very energetic and passionate Shahzad Khan and Shiza Hashmi on a very beautiful and pleasant morning.
Yeah.
Well, today we are talking about an organization, a special communication organization, for all those who don't know, SCO, which is working in areas where, well, the mainstream organizations are not, and actually providing facilities and services to millions of people living over there, and which were actually, you know, living without all these services before as well. And we were in conversation with the marketing head and their brand ambassadors. Before we went out on a short break, Shahzad actually, you know, sort of posed a very fun question, but a legit question to Mariam over here, who happens to be a female pilot from AJK.
Yeah,
Shahzad, you wanna
and
repeat
as
it?
soon as, ladies and gentlemen, I asked the question and went out for a break, there's this gentleman who walked into the studio and sitting right beside me as well. But other than that, but the question was, it's a funny question,
Yeah.
and every time, whenever I've been to Azad Jammu and Kashmir, this is something which I've experienced. And I felt a little bad because of the fact that we consider each and everybody the
Pakistani,
equal
yeah.
part, or and everybody plays a very pivotal role in the development of Pakistan and the country itself. But why do they ask us, yeah, how Pakistan say whether are you from Pakistan? Why do you think that people from Azad Jammu and Kashmir ask us this question?
Right. So, have you ever noticed if you travel from Karachi to Islamabad?
Yeah.
So, people from Karachi have been asked question that are you from Karachi?
Yeah, because they call Chowka Churangi.
Are you from Sindh?
So,
So,
you get
same
to
if you're from Punjab, if you travel somewhere, they go, are you Punjabi? So, maybe this is the reason you've been asked. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's
Okay.
the safest answer. I'll go with. I'm not going to ask any more questions today, especially about this particular thing. But other than that, I think what we really need to highlight is the corporate social responsibility side of SEO. And I think, Ms. Sarosh, I'm going to move on to you. Please let us know. So Usman actually told us that you guys are planting a lot of trees. There's a lot of education going around for people who actually cannot go or afford to go to schools. What's other than that?
Interestingly, I could safely say that we are only one telco which is doing the corporate social responsibility even more than the commercializing their products and services.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm very happy to actually be part of this particular team. SEO is very new to me. I'm also Kashmiri, and I don't ask people okay, if you're coming from Pakistan. But
Hey, you're in
Yeah.
Pakistan.
yeah, but that's good in a sense that you're coming to a new place.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you've been welcomed as
Yeah.
Pakistani rather than asking you Punjabi or Sindhi or Balochi. So we are normally very, very politically correct.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm Kashmiri as well. So and marking it down. So the question was the corporate social
Yeah.
responsibility. Reason is I'm going to just quote an example. If you talk about NASA, if you ask anyone in NASA, even a cleaner or a window cleaner or a janitor or anyone, they would simply say, if you ask them, what exactly do you do here? They would respond back and they would say, I send people to the moon,
Yeah.
right? So that sort of an example is for SEO.
Wow.
So we own GB. We own AJK in terms of what the region is, what the people are, and how the betterment can actually be given to them. So in that regard, we have actually created multiple platforms.
All right.
Platforms in the sense that, as Usman Mukhtar just said, that if you have a responsibility, so like with Powerzen, you come, you have responsibility.
Right.
So this responsibility is to keep the region clean,
Yeah.
keep the people in the region, the community, be empowered enough in terms of art and culture and science. And Gilgit-Baltistan has the literacy, highest literacy
Exactly.
Oh,
in,
yes.
in Pakistan and in Kashmir as well. So you
Yes.
actually can mark it down to 89% of literacy, which
That's
is a good rate.
Yes.
And we could actually compete with the global trends on that.
Right.
So why not to give them a platform where they can actually
Flourish
show,
even more.
yeah, they can flourish even more. So that's what we thought, and the initiatives were taken. Like started off about 2 decades back, but we've started pushing it out in the media very recently, just for the sake so that people know and get recognized. Painting exhibition was the start point in Islamabad for the first time. PNCA. Pakistan National Council of Arts, a very renowned name, and First Lady, Mrs. Samina Alvi, recognized these children for the first time on a national platform.
Wow.
And giving them an option, be registered on a national level. And then all of their paintings and stuff were sent to Guardian. Which is a newspaper, Gracia, one of the top magazines. Al Jazeera did a feature on them. So sitting in a small village like Shamshal, nobody knew that particular kid was from a small school, government school, and now on a national platform, on a global level, they have been recognized.
Thank you for doing that.
That's
Woohoo!
amazing. No, that's actually really commendable and amazing.
Yeah, so this is exactly what our point is, to give them platforms.
All right, ma'am, I want to come back to you and talk about your future as prospects as well. But just in a minute, Osman, this is probably not very much related to SEO, but I do want an answer from you. When we speak about how in less than a decade, tourism is booming in Pakistan, mashallah, right? A lot of bloggers and bloggers internationally even coming over here, even people from within Pakistan. And then you've taken it, on to SEO and talk about things that now do matter because, well, if 20 people were going earlier, 1,020 are going now, and all of them need to learn about these things. Where do you see the future of Pakistan in terms of tourism? Are we going to rise on that level where, any other tourist country that you know of? And do you think, as Pakistanis, forget about the international people coming over here, as Pakistanis, do you think we will actually stick to our responsibility of keeping it clean so that we can go even further?
I think we have a really big responsibility, and yes, the tourism is going to increase, but with tourism increasing, it has its cons as well.
Right.
The more people you attract, that means the more people will go there and, kind of throw litter over there, not respect the place, not respect the region. It's a hard truth. I mean, I can't sugarcoat it in any way.
That's true. Okay.
The problem is that I personally feel like if you go anywhere abroad and you see how they maintain their hill stations and stuff like, I mean, it's really beautiful.
Yeah,
I always wondered why can't Murray be like that?
I don't think Murray can
now
be like that
if you
anymore.
go, like I've grown up there, so it's a very. I also, there's an incident that I went to Lahore, and our heritage is not maintained properly. There are such beautiful, monuments that we have. We have such great, places, which if we maintained, we would be really proud to say, oh, we should take you there, we should take you there. And I came across a few places where, there was nobody to keep a check and balance. I personally, and before I was part of SEO, I personally never wanted that to happen to that region. Gilgit-Baltistan, Kashmir, these are beautiful places, untouched, unexplored.
Yeah.
The more people that go there, the more they'll take it for granted. They'll go there, and this is a very, I'm very about this, very emotional about this, because even in Islamabad, it's a very small example.
Yeah.
On Eid, it's a very good thing. Go out, celebrate Eid, you get out with your families, you go into the parks. But as soon as Eid is over, you see the main Magala road, and you will be like, for God's sake, like, this is your own city,
Even
just
after
take care
12
of it.
August.
You need to take care of the places that you're going to. I mean, in 10 years, if you don't take care of it, there will be no place like Islamabad where you can go out with your families and enjoy.
Exactly.
True.
So that I feel is going to probably happen with those regions if we don't raise awareness about how to keep the places clean, how to respect your own country, how to respect those regions.
Absolutely. Wow. That's amazing. Now, this is another question on a lighter note again, and Mariam, I want you to answer. Actually, any of you can answer this since you belong to Kashmir as well. I just learned that. So for people like us, belonging to the mainstream Pakistan, whenever we go there, we burn our skin. Like, it's not a tan, we burn it, like literally. Yeah, I told you this is going to be a question on a lighter note.
Beauty parlors in
No, that was not the question.
No, you don't. When she goes over there, she can get herself some sunblock and just be all dolled up or something. I think from cleanliness and hygiene, we've come down to looking after our skin while we're in Azad Jammu and
That's
Kashmir.
not the question.
That's great. Wow, how do you think about things like that?
So point being, people living over there, mashallah, they're so stunning to look at in terms of everything, they're actually the real beauty. How does that happen? I mean, does the climate, the sun not affect those people?
Does affect people, yes, but of course you have to have a nice good sunblock. You have to have a nice good sunblock.
Oh yeah, that's true though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's the environment, fresh air, and direct exposure to the sun. It never affected me as such.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's going to affect anybody, because over there, ladies and gentlemen, every now and then they're just going up the hill, they're coming down the hill, and I think that everybody stays
The
perfectly
summers
fine.
are hard there,
Alhamdulillah,
and
and,
it's
and
quite
they live a
healthy.
healthy life, they have good hearts as well.
Yeah,
But thank you very much for joining us. It
Thank
was
you,
wonderful
guys.
to be in conversation with amazing people today. Early in the morning, I think you pretty
Thank
much
you
did
very much
do
for
justice
inviting
with the
us.
kind of questions I asked. I'm sorry, I was a little harsh, but I think that we really
But
need
that's
to
his job.
strike the balance.
Right.
I would like to just
Sure.
on the closing note,
Absolutely.
there's a competition that we are calling for photography and painting
Yep.
on the theme of flora and fauna.
Yep.
Oh.
And it's going to be starting from 22nd of February.
All right.
So all Pakistan, all kids of, especially youth, is welcome to participate in that competition. Look out for our website
Yeah.
with SEO and our brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
Everyone is talking about it, so you should actually compete for it. All of
And they're doing a
Pakistan
great job. Please, would you
and
mind sharing
Kashmir.
your website as well? What's the website?
Website is www.seo.gov.pk.
All
You're on Facebook as well.
Wow.
We have a
So,
Facebook page too.
Yes.
SEO.gov.pk, ladies and gentlemen. The competition's open. The competition is going to be on 26th of February.
Yes, right.
Please make sure to register. This is that platform which they were talking about, that they're actually going to
For
give
photography
people an
and painting.
opportunity.
Yeah.
And other than photography, the theme is flora and fauna, so you can pretty much, capture anything. Whatever you think you can capture, just go ahead, capture it and register.
Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Thank you
everybody,
very
for joining
much.
us.
Thanks a lot.
And good luck for all your future ventures as well. And I hope to host that as well. But ladies and gentlemen, if you need to write anything to us, please write on our Facebook page with the name of
Well, this morning on your television screen, just right there.
On
Yes.
Twitter.
Well, this morning without a G.
Daily Motion on YouTube.
Well, this morning.
And the repeat you can catch at
5 past 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next day, 1, 2, 3. Good morning.